Now you see, the Juventus jigsaw puzzle is finally beginning to make sense. Igor Tudor wants to deploy a high pressing system at Juventus. So why not go out and sign a player that was ranked number 1 for pressure applied in the final third at Lille? Igor Tudor also wants his attackers to be game changers. Why not go out and sign one of the best game changers in the French league? Now Igor Tudor also wants players that are physically gifted, technically gifted, but at the same time, he wants personality, he wants charisma, he wants character on the pitch, players full of grit, hunger and passion. And Edon Zhegrova is his new target. Now Igor Tudor is thinking long term, not short term. He wants to build an attack that's young and hungry. He wants to build an attack that can develop together, that can win together, that can taste success together, and most importantly, that wants to play together. For the common goal, Juventus to dominate Italian football, and maybe, just maybe, European football. Now let me paint you the perfect picture. A picture you'd hang on your wall. A Juventus attack of Jonathan David, Kenan Yildiz, Kolo Muani, Conceição on Edon Zhegrova. From now on, call me the Arab, Leonardo da Vinci.
What a crazy transfer deadline day it's been. And listen, I know, I'm sorry, before you guys start to abuse me in the comments because my introduction had Kolo Muani, who's made his way to Tottenham, and Juventus have signed Openda. The edit was done last week, so before you guys start calling me Stronzo, Cabron, Kelb ibn al-Kelb, listen, the edit was done last week. But you guys know what I mean. Juventus are building something nice. Juventus are building something juicy. Hey, Edon Zhegrova, brother, I've had a smile on my face since these rumors came up because you, yes, you, Edon, you are about to put me out of my Conceição misery. So it's only right we familiarize ourselves with who he is, what he'll bring. Is it time to get excited? And is it time to start screaming things like Scudetto is on the way? Now, Edon Zhegrova, let's start off with, I feel like last season isn't really the best of seasons because he had an adductor injury. He only played about 10 to 12 games and then he was completely ruled out. I really want to look at 2022-2023 and 2023-2024. 2 seasons at Lille, back to back, where we actually saw serious growth. Now, let's start off with 2022-2023. When it comes to shots on goal, Edon Zhegrova was ranked numero uno. He was ranked number 1 for shots on goal. And the thing that's most impressive, he's not just a trigger-happy player that shoots from every God-given opportunity. No, he gets himself into very good, dangerous areas where 80-90% of coaches tell their attacking players to shoot from. That comes down to his reading, but most importantly, his positioning in the game. So that's very, very, very impressive. Bearing in mind, he's a wide player, and Lille are not the most dominant of teams in Liga 1, okay? Now, secondly, when you combine his goals and assists, he was ranked 5th, which is impressive. But this is where it gets juicy. And I mean super, 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 super juicy. Like a fresh, squeezed orange juice. I love orange juice. Now, anyways, when it comes to chances created, I feel like nowadays in the modern game, like, what is a chance created? You pass the ball to a teammate and he shoots the ball from 50 yards. On paper, you have just created a chance. In reality, you haven't. Is it really a goal scoring opportunity? Like, what are the chances of your teammate scoring from 50 yards? But on paper, it says you have created a chance. Nowadays, you've got teams creating 200, 300, 400 chances. How many of them are big chances created? Now, what is a big chance? A big chance is a chance where you put it on a plate for a teammate. A chance where the ratio of you scoring is in your favor. The probability is in your favor. We need to look at the big chances created. Now, when it comes to Edon Zhegrova, funnily enough, he was ranked 5th for chances created, but he was ranked 2nd for big chances created. What does that tell you? It tells you he's more efficient, he's more effective in the final third. When he does create, it tends to be a big chance in comparison to just giving the ball to a teammate and they shoot from 30 yards. This is so important because it just genuinely breaks down to you guys how he's so smart in the final third. He makes the right decision. When he does put the cross into the box, it's a big chance. When he does make a cutback, it's a big chance. It comes down to his efficiency, his effectiveness, his reading of the game, the precision behind his crossing, his passing. Like, when I saw this, I was like, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are heading in the right direction. After that, you've got possession 1 in the final third, which fits Igor Tudor's philosophy. And funnily enough, he was ranked numero uno. Yes, we're finally beginning to understand. He was ranked number 1. So Tudor, high energy, high press, tenacity, aggression. You've gone and signed yourself a guy that was ranked #1 at Lille. Finally, successful dribbles. Listen, as a winger, you're going to be double teamed, triple teamed like we saw yesterday, Kenan, Yildiz. You have to be able to beat your man. And the one thing about this dude, he can definitely beat his man. I believe it was 4.5 successful dribbles per 90 out of 9 attempts. That is super impressive. Now, at the beginning of the video, I mentioned refinement, a player that shows growth, improvement, season after season. If we were to look at 2023, 2024, a lot of the numbers change, but in Zhegrova's favor. When it comes to shots, he was still ranked #1, which is good. It's impressive. It shows consistency. When it comes to goals and assists, he went from being ranked 5th to being ranked 2nd. When it comes to chances created, he went from being ranked 5th to 2nd. When it comes to big chances created, he went from being ranked 2nd to 1st. And when it comes to possession won, he maintained it, numero uno. When it comes to successful dribbles, he maintained it, numero uno. Are you guys beginning to see the vision? Like, I'm so passionate, but you guys know what I mean. Like, season after season, he's improved. Areas where he was ranked 5th, he climbed the mountain. He was like, I'm not 5th. I want to be 2nd. I want to be 1st. That's improvement. That's him refining his game. That's him becoming more efficient, more effective in the final third. And this is what you want from every single player. Growth, season after season. And with that comes impact after impact. Now, when speaking about his pressures per 90, it's very, very, very impressive. The fact that season after season, he was ranked #1. It shows you when he goes out on the pitch, he gives you 110%. This is an amazing example where you could see the opposition centre-back has one bad touch, like a loose touch. He pounces. He literally assesses it. He was like, sweet, that's a loose touch. I can cover that ground. I can win that ball. But now when you win the ball, can you make the right decision? He wins the ball and the rest is history. He squares it to his teammate. Lille take the lead. This is impressive because it's all good engaging and applying pressure. But once you regain the ball, can you make the right decision? That's the difference between the best of players, the mediocre players, and the trash players. Now, when it comes to Zhegrova, what's one of his signature moves? Something you should automatically expect once he puts on a Juve shirt. He loves the cut in, but rather than cut in and shoot, he actually loves the cut in and dink across into the back post. That's one of his signature moves at Lille, and you'd be surprised. Lille scored a shit ton of goals from his crosses. His last season, where he was like a regular starter, 2023, 2024, I don't really count 2024, 2025 because he was injured and he missed half a campaign. 2023, 2024, Lille were ranked #1 in the entire French division for goals scored from crosses. And guess who scored? And guess which crosses led to the most goals? Edon Zhegrova. You look at some of these examples. When he cuts in, he always finds a teammate with the correct accuracy, the correct timing, the precision behind the ball. And this is so good for Juventus, especially when you bear in mind, Vlahovic, we just saw it against Genoa. Give me a deadly cross into the box and I will convert it on goal. Jonathan David, he scored a lot of goals from Zhegrova's crosses at Lille. Even somebody like Openda, good in the air. If it's not that, Bremer, whoever, Zhegrova is a very, very, very good crosser. And when you bear in mind, he was ranked #1 for big chances created, but he's not a set piece taker. If he was a set piece taker, I'd sit down and be like, maybe these big chances are coming from corners. And don't get me wrong, that's a great thing. But you're now relying on set pieces to win you games, to decide you games. The fact that he's creating big opportunities from open play, it's great. It's genuinely great news for Juventus. Now, the final point that I really want to discuss is what is the difference between him and Conceição? Because if you've watched him at Lille, Zhegrova, even if you were just to go now and watch highlight reels of him, I'd be a liar if I told you guys there wasn't a big similarity between the way he plays the game and somebody like Conceição. The biggest difference between the two, Zhegrova looks like a more mature version of Conceição. And this is what every Juve fan is probably sat hoping and praying happens with Conceição, which is improve your decision making in the final third. Look for the pass rather than the shot. Know when to shoot, know when to pass, know when to recycle. With Zhegrova, and there's a reason why at the beginning of the video, I've done this by purpose, to show you guys it's like a story. I mentioned at the beginning of the video, let's look at his growth and let's look at his development from 2022, 2023 to 2023, 2024. You saw the massive jump he made from 2023 to 2024. In his second season at Lille, his full campaign, you could saw big chances created, he was #1. Shots on goal, he remained #1. Dribbles, pressures in the final third, #1. Overall chances created, he went from 5th to 2nd. His overall game improved. Why? Because his decision making improved. You compare his decision making in the first season and his second season, he understood his assignment as a wide player, which is sometimes, rather than always going for goal, rather than always going for glory, rather than overdoing it with the dribbles, because the funny thing is, in his second season, his dribbles went down. The percentage remained high, but the dribbles per 90 actually went down. And you could see, he was like, scrap the dribbling. It's nice when you're watching it on TV, but I need to win games. And sometimes to win games, I don't need to do 50 step overs before I pass the ball. Sometimes to win games, I need to pass the ball rather than trying to take on 2-3 players. He proper mastered and refined his game. Where in the final third, he became more efficient and he became more effective. And the way life works is, when you become more efficient and more effective in the final third, guess what? Your numbers improve. It's like one of the biggest secrets of football. Become more efficient, become more effective, become smarter, and I guarantee you, you score more goals, you create more opportunities, you succeed more, you grow more, and you just become a far better player. And because of that, ladies and gentlemen, Juventus have just signed Edon Zhegrova. I hope I painted you guys a amazing story. Can ya, can. But anyways, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys on another one.